Today on Us Weekly's reality recap, we have a special edition, Love is Blind. Who said I do and who realized their feelings just weren't true. Today it's all about that epic finale in which couples were ready to tie the knot and which were ready to cut ties loose. Then Zach reveals how Irina tried to sabotage his relationship with Bliss.
She continued to text me after Mexico. I never reached out to her again.
Plus exclusive interviews with the one couple who said I don't.
It was kind of the last chance to show me that you're willing to take the risk and take the jump. And I think that, having him answer first is really the only way to do that.
All that plus so much more on today's Us Weekly reality recap. Hey guys, Christina Arbaldi here with Us Weekly executive producer Mandy DeCamp, and welcome to the big finale of Love is Blind.
Yes,
surprising
cheers.
Cheers.
I love this blind glass again.
I wish I had my gold cup. Kind of crazy that only one couple said I don't.
I know. We're going to get to the comments that you guys have because one of you called me out for saying you said that you didn't think any of the couples were going to make it. But hey, I got 3 out of 4 right. So
I love it. Well, Jackie said it right in the end, and that is that she is crazy. She needs help, and I hope she makes time to fix her and forget about a relationship of any kind now. Marshall deserves better. He really tried only to be blamed in the end. Yeah, it seems like Jackie definitely turned out to be a little bit of a villain on the show this season.
yeah, I'm excited to hear what she has to say for herself at the reunion. Although she did speak out on Instagram this week, which we'll get to in just a little bit. So we have some answers from her. Doreen said, I love Brett's dad. He is so humble and understanding. I agree. He gets the best dad award in Love is Blind history in my book.
Totally. I totally agree. And then Rob says, what show is Mandy watching? Because most are not going to make it. LOL. This was the most competitive and toxic season of couples. Most of us fans are only rooting for Brett and Tiffany. They've been the most mature and solid. That is, it's true that I agree that this has been the most competitive and toxic season of couples.
Yeah.
It really has. But
I'm a hopeless romantic, what can I say?
Yeah. Who knows? But it's going to be interesting as the seasons goes on, and we've talked about this, who is really there for fame and who is really there for love. And it seemed like, at least in Brett and Tiffany's case, they were there for love, and we'll have to wait and see what happens with the rest of the couples. I don't know.
I know. I'm so excited for the reunion. It's like this show just teases me. It's like I get so excited for the finale and then I immediately want to watch the reunion. It's going to be long, of course, April 16th. We're so excited for that.
So excited. All right. Before we recap it, let's see what happened in the news this week. Well, Jackie, like you said before, is sharing her truth. She clarified on Instagram when her breakup with fiance Marshall occurred in light of her dramatic love triangle with Josh. She wrote on Instagram, I have seen the latest episodes that have premiered on Love is Blind, and I must speak the truth. Marshall and I were broken up before I saw Josh at the coffee shop. I'm wearing different clothes. My hair is styled different. And at the end of the episode, I say, I don't know if I'm going to be with Josh. So, of course, we watched them call off their engagement after a series of heated arguments. Jackie skipped the wedding dress shopping with the other brides, and they aired the scene of her sharing their uncertainty about the wedding day after Jackie, like I said, didn't show up to the appointment. She then said that she was going to give it another try with Josh at the coffee shop. She said, I'm not sure what the reason is for playing the coffee shop date before the breakup, but to restate, Marshall and I were broken up before Josh and I had our coffee shop date. So they, of course, officially called off their engagement. It is a little suspect that they decided to, show these out of order. I made it made for a TV, but
it's the magic of editing, and I don't love that they did that.
Yeah, I don't.
However, I still think her behavior was not great. And she also said that as for the ring, Marshall did not pay for the ring. Love is Blind paid for all the rings. So we were wondering that last week. Yes. So it's official. Official as if she, I don't think she's lying. So,
right.
But so Love is Blind does pay for the ring. So, but I don't think Marshall, if that is the truth, I don't think Marshall was just taking it to pocket it. I think he was probably taking it to give it back to whoever.
Right. And it's just principle too. You're calling off the engagement, give me back the ring. You don't deserve it. It's very strange. All right. Well, let's break down the finale. And as we know, Chelsea and Kwame said I do. We saw her say I do first. We had to wait a whole week to find out if Kwame felt the same, and he does. And, his sister Barbara was there. They were cheering them on. Her parents gave a standing ovation. I have to admit, I was really surprised that he said yes.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of started to see it throughout the
Yeah.
season kind of improve once Micah was out of the picture. However, I'm still curious. They better ask her at the reunion what she thought about those scenes of him and Micah's intimate conversation by the pool.
Mhm.
And then I think didn't they have a second conversation at some point?
Yes. Well, she did talk to us a little bit about it and said
Yeah.
that she wasn't like told, but at that point she hadn't watched the
Didn't
show.
watched it, yeah.
So
And I'm curious to see
Yeah.
what she thinks now that she watches back the pods with
I agree.
Micah and then the conversation at the pool. But for now, they got their happy ending.
Yes, they got their happy ending. And I think like maybe I was like, okay, maybe he'll say yes once I saw that moment between Chelsea and Barbara, then when they had that really sweet, his sister, once they had that really sweet moment, I'm like, all right, maybe they'll work things out. And she's so in love with him. She really is. So I'm rooting for them. I hope it works out. But as we know, it did not work out for Paul and Micah. You know, she put the ball in his court. She was like, okay, you're the one that's going to make this decision. And you're going to say whether, you know, if you want to step up, you can. And, you know, he said it had to be us. And then he was like, I can't make this commitment to you.
Yeah, I was a little bit shocked by this one.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I necessarily thought they were going to make it forever.
Uh-huh.
But on the wedding day, you know, the way he was speaking about her, I thought maybe it was a yes.
Yeah.
But clearly not. Clearly, again, I have a bad judgment about people. I don't know.
Right. I think he was just kind of like, maybe he was like, all right, I'm in a little over my head about this. And, you know, like you'll see in our interview, it doesn't really seem like they have, you know, he has much regret about how things went down. I think if they did get together, I don't think that their lives were kind of
Aligned.
Maybe going to mesh together really well. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think I said it a few episodes ago. I felt like not to like stereotype people, and the whole point of the show is to take the stereotypes off, but I don't think that they were necessarily each other's type. I mean, she was constantly nagging him way too early on in the conversation about his style, not only his wardrobe, but his apartment style, everything. And that might get to him a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure. But Shelby was happy.
Oh, I'm sure Shelby was happy. Shelby was, you know, dancing her way to the reception like, woohoo, I'm going to party now.
Seriously.
I was right. But I think he had an interview after he said no about her not being very nurturing or motherly. And I'm sure she's going to have something to say about that at the reunion, because that's a harsh critique. I would be extremely offended if someone said that.
I would be too. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. But the yes that we all saw coming, of course, was Brett and Tiffany, despite Brett's suit kind of not fitting the last minute, which was kind of hysterical.
It was.
Running to a tailor, and she had some cold feet. We knew that they were going to say yes. They seem so in love. They're at that stage in their life when they want to settle down, you know, start a family and, you know, and create a life with somebody. So out of all the couples, I feel the most solid about this one.
Me too. I would be shocked if anything came up at the reunion about them. If anything, I hope she's pregnant. I hope they're about to have a baby, because I freaking love them.
Me too. I really like them. I think that they're wonderful. And, you know, Zach and Bliss, who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
After the pods, you know, after Irina and everything like that they would have said I do, but you know, she did. This one I wasn't sure about. I wasn't sure if she was ready to like fully commit to him, and especially with her dad being like so against this, but they surprised us.
I know. I feel like she cared more about what her mom thought, because families can be so persuasive, you know? I mean, if my dad didn't like someone, I would be second guessing everything. No,
totally.
But clearly she wasn't. So she must have a closer relationship with her mom and her sisters. So I'm happy for them. I'm curious to see if they're still together, but I think they might be.
I think they might be too. I think that they might be. But yeah, it was definitely a good season. I'm so excited for this live finale. I think it's going to be so great. I know that you got a quote, your quote of the night.
Oh yeah, mine went to Shelby. She said, "I wish I was way drunker." And this was when they were breaking up in the altar in front of everyone. I still like cringe so hard, even though I know that like this is probably going to happen every season. We're going to see someone break up after making your family get their hair and makeup done, put on a mother of the bride dress, you know, dress to the nines for you to come out to wherever this location is. probably take off work or whatever to be there. And just to say, I know, it's like the most cringeworthy, tense moment of any reality show I've ever seen when this happens.
It really is. It's such it's such a good show. It really is. It's so good. So good. All right. Well, like we said before, we caught up with Paul and Micah, who both shared their feelings about their I don'ts. Take a look. And even though you let Paul go first, did you really think that he was going to say no?
I think that, it was kind of the last chance to show me that you're willing to take the risk and take the jump. And I think that, having him answer first was really the only way to do that. I worried that maybe he would say yes if I said yes, just because, and I really wanted him to answer from his heart. And I felt like it was kind of like all right, show me or don't. And
hypothetically speaking, do you think if you both said yes, that this relationship would have worked for you?
There's no way of telling. I think that we were both willing to put in the work. And I think that we would actively try. And if we were meant to be together, then we would still be together. I know we would put in that effort. There's no way of knowing.
Are you happy that now that you've been a few months out of this, are you happy he said no?
I wouldn't say I'm happy he said no or angry still. I think that what was supposed to happen happened. It didn't work out. I'm sure there's other paths that, we're going to go down, and there's a reason for everything. When
you were up there and she asked you to go first, were you hesitant at all? Did you think maybe I was about to say yes?
Yeah, no, I was super torn, incredibly up until the very moment. And I hadn't made the decision, as soon as it came out of my mouth, that's when the decision was made. And I think I don't regret it. It was the right call, I think, at the time. And it was a realization that, while we did love who we were in that moment, there's a lot more to marrying someone than just that.
Mm-hmm. So no regrets. You still feel confident with the decision that you made?
Absolutely. Yeah. No regrets.
Yeah, no regrets. Excited to see, how you said before, the cast didn't see the show, so it'll be interesting to see how opinions have changed now that they've watched it back.
Definitely.
But this is crazy.
Yeah. So apparently, you chatted with Zach earlier this season, and he revealed that Irina actually tried to sabotage his relationship with Bliss. So take a look.
Did Irina reach out to congratulate you at all, or have you? Did you ever speak to her after the breakup?
No, not after we got married. And there was, some things. She continued to text me after Mexico. I never reached out to her again, and she did try to subtly sabotage our relationship when we got back from Mexico. But I'm not going to go into details about that.
I'm a little shocked because it's my first time hearing that, and I honestly have nothing bad to say about him or Bliss. I genuinely love Zach, and I genuinely thought I was going to marry him. And I've never had anything bad to say about Bliss, either in the pods. I feel like that is all on camera. I always said I thought she was beautiful. I thought she was amazing. When I first met her, I literally was like, I wish I had a brother you could marry, because I liked her. And so that obviously hurts me a lot hearing that, because when we broke up, I told him, hey, if you want to go pursue things with Bliss, you should. And he said he didn't want to because he didn't want that story for her, but I'm happy for them. And I feel really bad that he feels that way. That is not my intention at all. And I feel like if I get the chance to have that conversation with Bliss and Zach, I will, but that is 100% not how I felt. I genuinely wanted to marry Zach. It wasn't about a game. It wasn't about picking or choosing or winning. I feel like I was in my own head, living my own life, and what Bliss and her story with Zach was completely different. So.
Yeah, when I brought that up to her, she was pretty surprised that he made that public. And I was too. I was like, oh, tell me more. I wish I had
please.
time.
I'm here. I have all the time in the world.
Right. But so I guess she wasn't too happy about that. So I'm sure that will be a topic of conversation at the reunion as well. Cannot wait for that. Like we said, the reunion is going down Sunday, April 16th live. We will have a recap the following day. And so please let us know in the comments which couple surprised you, which I don't surprised you, and who do you think is going to last a lifetime? Please let us know in the comments, and we will see you guys after the reunion. Bye.
Bye.
For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.